called me up a couple months older. Says I go back up now. I'm not 70 anymore. I'm 71.
Here we are in the plaza.
Most overrated place in the world. See, this is a place that makes me nervous. So I'm gonna walk around here.
Well, it's a place in Kansas City where you're supposed to feel safe.
Yeah. And the pigs scare me. They're into pigs.
Proud father of a police officer.
Yep.
Well, there's quite a few of these bars down here have gotten pretty obnoxious progressively over the years. Date rape bars. Not that the Westport is any better.
Yeah. Actually.
And here's that stop sign at the top of the hill. It's always fun when I drove a stick.
And it's what they really need to do though is put a tree in front of it.
Yeah.
Got one
it's only a two-way stop. The other street is just to drive through. Perfect.
We got one of those up the airport with the tree planter right square in front of it.
A tree in front of a stop sign at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
There's a two-way stop, not a four-way. That sounds like perfect kind of planning that Kansas City is famous for.
Yeah.
Along with figuring out how to close all the roads so you can never avoid road construction.
And why, when they get them closed, they may be closed for 2 or 3 years.
Or forever. I remember when we first moved up here, you could take the Broadway Bridge across the railroad tracks, and it was our favorite way to go every day. Came into the city. And then there was an accident, and the bridge was all of a sudden gone. They had to tear it down. And that bridge never reopened. They rerouted all the roads. And it took them like 10 years, it seemed. And eventually they opened up the Broadway Bridge that we have now over the railroad tracks. But so I remember this bridge, it's like you got to the foot of Broadway, and then it was like straight up, and it wasn't a great bridge, but at least it was away.
That's the one that had a toll booth in the end of it?
No, that you're thinking of the 169 Broadway Bridge over the river. This one was over the railroad tracks by Union Station.
Oh, well, no.
And we moved here, and it was like maybe 6 months after we moved here that the bridge was shut down, and we thought, oh, it wasn't an insidious plot. Later on, somebody told me that it was a train derailment or something. Took out one of the footings of the bridge, and the bad part about it was it being closed for so long. And I mean, it literally rerouted all traffic around. You know, Broadway just didn't go straight through for a long time. And if you've ever noticed, we're on Broadway now, if you ever notice when we get to it, how the Broadway Bridge is like this, you know, S-shaped, newish bridge. Here's Chestport.
Yep. Pigs here too.
Broadway Cafe already got chairs on the tables. Closing up. It's going to be closed at 9.
Yep. Always amazes me that the businesses will hire people that will tromp over you trying to get out at quitting time.
It's just hard. You know, it's hard being in business and trying to find dedicated people. It really is.
Yeah, particularly at the prices they want to pay.
Well, that's not the Po, that's a radio station.
We're in Rock there, huh?
The Rock. So great, they pull up in a vehicle with police lights on it, so people are afraid to go there because there's a body in front of it or something. On the one hand, it draws attention, and on the other hand, it draws the wrong kind of attention.
Yeah.
Oh, they took out their Gomer's sign.
We hit a Gomer's here?
Gomer's liquor store.
Yeah, one over on Warnell or somewhere over in there, that way down south. I knew the guy that owned those. Met him, I didn't know him all that well.
Apparently not willing to spend any money on signage.
He didn't have to, he had $1 million. I don't know how much she took. She left him. So he doesn't have $1 million anymore, maybe. Lowe's car over there, race car. Going on
Yeah. There's our church.
They'd have a tough time building one like that now.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful church. What is it? Garrison Keillor likes to make a joke about it. He calls it Our Lady of Perpetual Guilt. Our Lady of Perpetual Guilt Catholic Church or something like that. Pretty funny.
Yeah.
This again was telling me she was her private school was part of a church called Perpetual Succor, but she said it Perpetual Sucker. You didn't understand why I was laughing so hard. The good Kansas City roads.
Yeah, this is one that they...
Well, they gerrymandered all this. Broadway used to not do this at one time. It went straight through. Or, I don't know. You know, my memory is fading like a fart in the wind. It seemed like Broadway actually went straight through. There was a street, and then they rerouted Broadway, so you had to zigzag here.
The highway was in the road now.
Because this was in Broadway. And, you know, we're coming up to the Broadway bridge over the railroad tracks, that bridge down there. I mean, it was like over there or something like that. And it was a straight through street. And there was this old bridge, and on the other side, when you came to where Broadway is, see how the bridge is routed that way? Like when you got to down there, there was this old bridge, and you came to the foot of it, and it was one of these bridges that was hinged up like this. So when you went, you about broke your car in half going up it, you know. And it was this incline, then you went over the tracks. And then they took that bridge out. And you know, that's fine and needed to replace a bridge, especially if it was taken out by a train or some whatever, a truck or whatever it was. But they never replaced it. Instead, they replaced it with this. If you look at this, this is pretty new. The actual Broadway bridge that we remember started here at the foot of Broadway and went straight up and across. And it always, you know, it was a great shortcut through the city, and it always pissed us off that we had to go around, zigzag around. I guess it made my mom upset because she knew it, and you know how women are. They learn something and they don't like to have to find a different way. You know, they want to go.
Yeah.
Like Suyan is that way. She wants to go one way and that's it. She hadn't learned the 50 different ways you can get somewhere. She only learns the one.
I claim that wherever you grew up, where you were in high school, you learn every street in town.
Yeah.
But once you get beyond high school age, you decide this road is good enough, it'll get me there. And when you're in high school, you know there's a girl lives over in that street. I'm going to see if she happened to be my, that jogging outfit I like.
High heels?
Yeah, high heels, short skirt.
Well, when I was in high school, I was always riding my bike and exploring everywhere, and I knew just about every road and path around my neighborhood. And then we got some arty thing going on in there. And then after high school, when I get in a car, I'd do the same thing. It's just a wider area. I'd explore every road and path.
I always said in Olathe, I know 2 streets, and this isn't it. I lived there for 19 years. I could only find my way home in 2 different ways.
Lord. Well, I'm also fascinated by maps, and
I get frustrated when you're thinking, oh, I can go around the block. Well, this block doesn't go anywhere near around. It makes a left turn up here and ends up in Booneyville, or you might wander around for 2 hours and go back to the same spot. There's only one way out.
Well, if Suyan's going to call us, she's going to have to call us on your phone.
Okay.
My phone is dead.
And she can't call us on her phone because she's her phone.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I hope she's got my number because mine's programmed into her phone. If